welcome back to my channel. Maps on the map. It's cold. It's so cold in Shanghai, guys. Yo. Hi, guys. If you're in a hot place, please send some heat, please. So recently, like a little bit of a while back, I sat down with a friend of mine and he was telling me about his business. I will share the video in a moment. And I thought it was inspiring. I thought his story was inspiring. And I just wanted to share it and encourage anyone who wants to start a business but does not know where to start. I believe that you're given gifts and things that you're passionate about that you could probably use it to start a business of some sort. So as you watch this video, think about those things that you're interested in, that you're passionate about, that somehow could become a business. You know, I think like what my friend was interested in or passionate about, like I didn't even realize that you could make a business out of it. You know what I mean? Like it's really inspiring and interesting. So sit back, enjoy, and if you're already doing something like that, it doesn't matter what business you're into, but you really thought of something and you're like, I'm gonna do it. Well done. May God bless your works and whatever you're doing. And anyone who's thinking about starting something and doesn't know where to start, may God give you the passion, the desires, and the people to help you get where you need to get to. Sit back and enjoy. See you soon. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Maps on the Map.
Yeah.
Maps on the Map.
Maps on the Map.
My name is Maps.
And I'm Ming.
And we're both living in Shanghai, China.
Yeah.
For a couple of years now. I've been here for 4 years.
I've been here for 4 years as well. You beat me by 1 month.
Yeah, that's true. But he's been in China for like ever, actually.
Not forever, just for 7 years. In fact, I remember when I went to small group, and I had just come here, and you'd also just come here too.
And I thought you would be with that CG forever because you were comfortable. I remember, and you were like asking me questions. So I'm thinking, okay, so he knows everyone.
Where do you want to go? Is bench okay, or should we find another place?
Let's find another place. What's your business? You haven't been here, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's
we
my
can
first time.
walk around.
Cool.
And see the space. This is like the Bundus.
This is the Bundus.
The Bundus of Shanghai.
Yeah, man, we in the hood of Shanghai. Southwest Shanghai. It's a dangerous part of town. These are ancient trees. Been here for thousands of years. If you believe it, it's true.
I mean, carry on.
I wonder what people are going to think of China after this video. They're either going to get my sarcasm or they're going to be completely misinformed about this place.
No, they're going to know everything about it. The gangs, the ancient trees.
Look at these people loitering here. The gangsters.
People loitering. I mean, it makes sense. I got the bag. Everything.
It's the purple suitcase, the pink suitcases you need to watch out for the most.
Your Chinese is pretty good. When did you start learning Chinese?
My Chinese is okay. I started learning when I was 17. Yeah. So even though I'm like Chinese heritage, I didn't grow up speaking. I couldn't even say my name until I was 17. And then started taking it in high school. And then obviously I work here, so there's that exposure as well.
Yeah, that's true. Funny enough, I've never said this when we met because we were talking. And then I can't remember what you said. Or you randomly mentioned where you're from, and I was like, oh, maybe I didn't ask you where you're from. Maybe. And then when you told me, I was like, oh snap, I should have asked. I thought you were probably from China. But yeah.
But people tell me they don't think I'm from China. Like Chinese people tell me that.
Because, okay, now that I've been in China, I can see the difference.
Yeah.
But then, like, when I just arrived, all Asians, this is bad when it comes to confession. All Asians looked Chinese.
That's racist.
I know, I'm sorry. Like, I really didn't know. I really didn't. And, like, people be like, oh, he looks Japanese. Oh, he looks, and I'm like, how do you know?
But you know what's funny? Is that people, like, tell me that I don't look Chinese. Or, like, I look like I'm mixed, but I feel okay. I need to do one of those genetic tests, but I think my blood is 100% Chinese.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Then you check and you find no one ever is 100% something though. Is it possible?
I need to do one of those tests.
I saw they sell it on Taobao.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's the real thing.
It's like 23andMe.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Like,
okay.
I've seen it on Taobao, but I don't know if it's, China.
Because I went to their website and they told me that like it's they don't have service here.
Like I said, China. They could have like a 21andMe.
That's my company.
33.
I started it.
There you go. The truth comes out. Strategy for marketing.
Any number and me.
Yeah. That's the company. Yeah, you can.
But they'd have to do it with a number that is good luck in Chinese.
Okay, maybe it wasn't. So it would be what? 88andMe.
88andMe. There you go.
Yeah. Or 66 with me.
Or Liu and me.
Yeah.
666 and me.
666. That's another thing that was weird.
Yeah.
Finding out that like 666 is an awesome number in China. Like it's not bad. Like it's very good. That was so weird. What does Ming mean?
Ming means bright.
Ah.
Like there's like the Chinese character. There's like a sun and a moon, and so it's like just means bright.
Oh, that's beautiful. Bright.
Yeah, my grandmother gave me the name.
Nice. Oh, like Tong Ming.
Tong Ming. Yeah.
Like clever.
So she gave me the name. Yeah, she's amazing. She grew up in Malaysia, and she never went to school, but she taught herself how to read and write Chinese.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's.
Yeah. She passed away last year. Get a hug. Thank you. Yeah, it's okay. She was old. She was like 90 something.
Whoa.
No.
Sounds like a powerful woman. Give good names.
Very determined. Yeah, she like my dad's family wasn't very rich, so she would sell lottery tickets to earn enough money for like extra classes and stuff for my dad.
Oh wow.
So we really prioritized education of all her 4 kids. Yeah, and then super grateful.
So this hustling spirit it runs in the family.
I guess so.
You got it from your grandma.
I guess I did. I was born and raised in the U.S. My family has been about 3 generations removed from China. I was born in Washington, D.C., lived in the U.S. my whole life. Growing up, I had nothing to do with... I actually wanted to have nothing to do with my Asian heritage because I thought that, I was pretty absorbed in mainstream American culture, and I thought that my heritage, I just didn't see any I wasn't exposed to it at all. And then in 2005 when I was in high school, I actually went on a trip to China to do service work with my church. So we're teaching English in this rural part of China, and that actually completely opened up my eyes to this beautiful part of my heritage, and I discovered that I was interested in teaching, discovered that I was interested in China, and I just loved every moment of being out here.
How did you come to run your company there?
Okay, so I spent a total of 3 years in China after graduating in the education field. So I spent 1 year with World Teach and then another 2 years with an organization called Teach for China. And what Teach for China does is they recruit idealistic young college graduates and they send them into rural parts of China. And the mission is to kind of address education inequality in rural parts of China by introducing more teaching talent. So for that organization, I was a teacher trainer. I chose that job for several reasons. One of the big reasons was because close to my heart was this idea of not only exploring the world, but also developing solutions for sustainable development. So I wanted to be in an area that was less developed than other parts of the world and understand some of the issues of development that occurred there, and then develop perspective on what I could do to kind of address these issues. So while I was in rural China, it was a completely different life. The good thing about China is that wherever you go, the infrastructure in terms of roads and internet is actually quite good. So I had access to the outside world, but I was brought into contact with a lot of different social issues. So things like like depopulated villages because parents had left their children and the elderly behind so that they could go to other places in China to work. You sounds of China. You definitely need to include this clip. You saw a lot more of that in rural China, so you learn about that. You see how social structures are changing. You learn about poverty, you learn about the environment. So I had those 2 years in Teach for China, and then I went off to graduate school. So I ended up getting my MBA at the University of Pennsylvania, which was another great experience. And while I was there, I decided I don't really want to go the corporate route, but I want to start a company that provides a platform for people to come together and travel and explore and also learn about issues of development in less developed areas like rural China or Southeast Asia. So in 2015, I moved back to China. 2016, I moved back to China and I started a company. The name of the company is called Keru, and it's an acronym that stands for Knowledge and Experience for Real Understanding, KERU. And basically what we do is we organize different types of study trips and service trips for students to do projects in developing parts of China and Southeast Asia. Our first project was actually in a developing part of Yunnan province. So usually when we go out and our trips will be like 5 to 10 days long, and you know, there's like some academic component, there's a project component, and there's a service component. So for this particular project, we were partnering with a nonprofit, and the nonprofit wanted to donate some water filters to these schools in Yunnan. And so our project was to travel to 3 villages in rural Yunnan and conduct a survey of water quality and then create a report to identify the most suitable recipients for the water filters. So we had to go out and collect water samples from households and from schools and to assess the water quality and then to provide a report. So we created a list of about 10 different, about 5 different contaminants. And then we bought supplies. We taught the students how to do this type of study.
What did you find when you did that?
I went to one of the villages, and then like I did some initial testing, and then I didn't find anything wrong. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like it's kind of perverse, right? Because I'm like, this is actually really good that there's nothing wrong. But what if I bring a bunch of students out here, and it's like, you know, I tell them that this is about water, but there's actually nothing wrong here, right? Like, then how do I like spin things, right? So the eventual result was that we actually found that there's actually quite a bit of problems in terms of delivering high quality water in less developed areas, and a lot of it is like operational, right? So it's like, you know, you might have a clean water source, but you know, when it goes through the filtration process and when it goes through the piping process, there might be contaminants that are introduced in the system. Sometimes villagers, like they store the water in a place, and like, you know, they might store it in a water tank, and over the time the maintenance of that water storage tank might degrade, and they might not realize that there's contaminants entering into the water.
And what are some of the things that, like, some challenges, like, can you talk about them?
Yeah, sure, I can talk about them. So one of them is, of course, our background. So when we go in, like, I think that the way that we position our programs is really important. So you could think about it, right? Like, functionally, we're going in to collect water quality data, but you know, the way that the local government understands that could be very different. They could understand it as a study exercise, or they could understand it as a foreign group coming in to like dig up problems. So internally, like, we have to be very clear that, you know, why are we doing this, and how do we like position ourselves so that you know, we're respecting the goals of the local government, while also because, you know, like, our goal is not to like be like an agitator or an activist, right? Like, we're more concerned about the education and helping out. Chinese communication is quite indirect, especially in business, right? Like sometimes I travel to these like rural villages, and I have to like talk to like people in the government, and then I'm never like quite sure like what's going on. I just kind of have to wait and then like see if there's like any follow up. I think in the cities it's a bit better, yeah. Like, but I never have like a complete clarity about what's going on. But you know, there's like a positive side to that, because I feel like sometimes, you know, in the US, like you can be very direct, which is good. But then it's also like, you know, sometimes relationships take time to marinate, and you got to figure out like if you're the right fit, if you can work together. And sometimes it's good to have some ambiguity. It gives you more time to think. This country is still very much in the process of developing, so there's a ton of opportunities. You know, a lot of the services here in China, it's like pretty much blue ocean, right? Like you come here, you have a service to offer, and the market is so big that you can always find someone to offer it to. Whereas in the US, it's very mature, and you know, like different business opportunities are already have already been exploited. So it can be difficult to break in. Whereas in China, it's like you can have a very basic idea, like say running a summer camp or teaching English, and there's so much opportunity, and this market's so big, and I do feel like if you work hard, you can definitely make it. Come to China, it's a great place, and if you guys ever come meet me, come meet Maps.
Alrighty, thank you everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you in my next video. Don't forget to like
And subscribe.